Hello, today I'm going to show you my deck profile for BUSTER BLADER. You start off with 3 BUSTER Whelp with the Destruction Swordman. He's the searcher of the deck. When he's normal summoned, you can search for any Destruction Sword card in your deck. And so it has 2 other effects. Once per turn, if you can tribute this card and special summon BUSTER BLADER from your hand or graveyard. And so the other effect is when you control the BUSTER BLADER monster, you can discard 1 Destruction Swordman card, and you can special summon this card from the graveyard. Next one is Dragon Buster Destruction Sword. You can equip this card to any monster, and he locks the opponent from the extra deck. Also, when this card is equipped to a monster, you can special summon it once per turn to your field. Next one is Buster Blade, the Destruction Swordmaster. He's when this card is in the field of the graveyard, it's treated as a Buster Blader, and so it has a nice effect that if an opponent monster is destroyed by battle or card effects, you can equip it to this card. Also, once per turn, you can send 1 card equipped to this one, and your opponent sends monsters of the same type to the graveyard. So it's basically a board wipe for a deck that plays one specific type. Next one is Wizard of the Destruction Sword. When he's equipped, monster effects in the graveyard are not activated. Also, 3 Buster Blader. Then we start with the Crusadia Package, 3 Crusadia Draco, 3 Maximus, 2 Arboria, and 1 Reclusia. To explain the effects of the Crusadia, they all special summon from your hand to a link arrow that it points to your field. But so Draco, when it's special summoned, you can add 1 Crusadia monster in your graveyard, accepts itself to your hand. Arboria is once per turn, when Arboria is in the graveyard, you can punish this card, and 1 Crusadia monsters are not destroyed by battle or card effects. And the Reclusia one is special summon to a link arrow in your field. You can destroy 1 Crusadia monster and 1 card in the field and destroy them. 3 Ash for hand traps. 2 World Legacy Guardragon, which when it's activated, you can target 1 level 4 or lower dragon monster, either add it to your hand or special summon it. And once per turn, you can move 1 monster from your field to another monster zone. And 1 of Fusion of the Destruction Swordman. This is like a super polymerization because you can use 1 Buster Blader monster you control and any dragon monster on the field. 1 Karma of the Destruction Swordman. This is a neat card because you can banish up to 3 monsters with the same type from your opponent's graveyard, and 1 Buster Blader or Destruction Swordman card against 500 attack and defense for each card you banished. But most important is the banishing effect. And so 1 Raigeki, 1 Foolish Burial of Goods, 1 Return of the Dragon Lords, 1 World Legacy of Succession, and 1 for 1. Starting with the trap cards, you play 3 Prologue of the Destruction Swordman. When this card is activated, you can send for cost 1 Buster Blader and 1 Destruction Swordman card, and special summon Buster Dragon from your extra deck or graveyard. 2 Memory Sword of the Destruction. This card, when you activate this card, you can discard 1 Destruction Swordman card and special summon 1 Buster Blader from your deck or hand. So when this card is in the graveyard, you can banish this and the one Buster Blader monster and one Dragon monster to special summon the fusion monster of Buster Blader. 2 Destruction Swordman Flash. This one is activated. You can, if you control a Buster Blader monster, you can banish all monsters your opponent controls. So when this is in the graveyard, when your opponent activates a card effect that targets one Buster Blader, you can banish this card and negate and destroy that card. Then 1 DNA Surgery, just to turn all your opponent's monsters into dragons. 1 Trap Trick, and 2 Infinite Impermanence. Starting with the extra deck, I play 2 Buster Dragon. When he is on the field, all your opponent monsters become dragon, and once per turn, if you do not control the Buster Blader monster, you can special summon. And during your opponent turn, quick effect, you can target one Buster Blader monster and equip it 1 Destruction Sword card to that target monster. Usually you equip Dragon Buster because it locks your opponent from the extra deck. But it also depends on what kind of deck you're playing against. If you, for example, let's say you're playing against Phantom Knights, you can equip Wizard, which locks all monster effect in the graveyard. Then the fusion card, Buster Blader. He is the beater of the deck. He gains 1000 attack and defense for each dragon on the field and in graveyard. Also, dragon monsters cannot activate their effects and are switched to defense position. When he battles, he does piercing damage, but cannot attack directly. Then 1 Borreload Savage Dragon, 1 Red Dragon Archfiend Abyss, 1 Scarlight Red Dragon Archfiend. This is for the synchro monsters. For the link monsters, you activate 1 Protector Whelp of the Destruction Swordman. When this card is summoned, you can send one Destruction Sword card from your deck to the graveyard. Then, if you have a Buster Blader in your hand, you can special summon that card. And the other effect of this card is if you control a Buster Blader fusion monster and your opponent controls no monsters, and that fusion monster did not declare an attack this turn, you can inflict damage to your opponent equal to that Buster Blader. Then I play Christian P-Bucks. I play 1 Heraldic Seals for bounce effect. Then I play 1 Crusadia Maximus. When this card is summoned, when a card is summoned to this link area with this card, you can search for any Crusadia monster in your deck. Also, I play 1 Crusadia Spatha for the effect to move the card that when a card is special summoned to this link arrow, you can move it to another monster zone. Usually, I use it with Pisti. I special summon Crusadia Draco, then link it off for Pisti, and then move Pisti to special summon another Draco from my graveyard. And then link up from there. Next one is Linkoribo for linking off any level 1 monsters that I have. And for last, that's all for my Crusadia deck. It's a quite fun deck. Usually the strategy is quite simple. You summon Whelp. You summon Whelp, search for the Prologue. Then link it off for Linkoribo if you have a Crusadia monster. For example, if you have Arboria, special summon Arboria, link it off for Harry Fabrics, and then special summon Dragon Buster Destruction, and there link off again for Whelp, for Protector. After that, if you have a Buster BLADER on your hand, you special summon it and set the Prologue. Pause the turn to your opponent. At the standby phase, activate Prologue, send Memory Sword and one Buster BLADER to special summon the Buster Dragon. And once the Memory Sword hits the graveyard, you can activate its effect to banish it, one Buster BLADER and one Dragon Monster, to special summon the Fusion. And now your opponent is locked from monster effects from Dragon Monsters. And again, when the opponent summons a monster, you open a chain to target either Buster BLADER or the Fusion to equip Buster Destruction Sword, and the opponent is locked from the extra deck. And that's all. I hope you enjoyed my deck.